It's time for At Home with the RubberDucks, powered by First Energy. 640 WHLO gets you closer to your hometown team with stories of the game and updates from the season ahead.
Line to left center, that's a base hit and a game winner for the Akron RubberDucks.
Akron RubberDucks baseball, affordable family fun.
High drive to right, that's well hit, back, that ball is gone, it's a home run.
Here's your hosts, Marco LaNave and Jim Clark.
Welcome into this 4th of July weekend edition of At Home with the RubberDucks. Marco LaNave joined by Jim Clark. And Jim, as it relates to the RubberDucks, the big news this past week was that minor league baseball has been informed by Major League Baseball that there will not be a 2020 minor league season. So the news now official that the minor league season, the RubberDucks season, will not happen at Canal Park in 2020.
Disappointing, but they're doing what's best for everybody involved, players, coaches, managers, trainers, fans. You respect that. Hopefully we get this under control. The MLB season goes like we want it to, and we come back in 2021.
And we know many of the former RubberDucks or RubberDucks players from 2019 are part of that Indians grouping of almost 60 players that they have already determined that will work out in preparation for the Major League season. And starting later in July, the official opening day is planned for then. We'll talk more in the show with Andre Knott about some details about the schedule and the season. And also, on a positive note, we're looking forward to the July 11th St. Vincent-St. Mary versus Archbishop Hoban game that will take place at Canal Park. This exhibition will be our chance, Jim, to call a game together, and I'm pumped for that.
Hey, it's a baseball holy war this time with the Irish and the Knights, Anthony Boarman from St. Vincent-St. Mary, Andrew Bonnette, a former Walsh player from Hoban. It should be a great night. The fans will love it. I'm sure the kids are very excited as we are to get out there, play with their teammates if they're seniors one more time in front. Maybe the biggest crowd they've ever played in front of.
Well, we know nobody at the ballpark will be taking it for granted, and it will be a special atmosphere coming up on July 11th. So we'll dive in next to those interviews with Coach Anthony Boarman of St. Vincent-St. Mary High School and Coach Andrew Bonnette of Archbishop Hoban High School. This portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Ambridge Hospitality, Fairfield Inn and Suites, and the Courtyard by Marriott, Akron, Fairlawn, all partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. Now we visit with St. Vincent-St. Mary head baseball coach Anthony Boarman to talk about the game July 11th at Canal Park, an exhibition against Archbishop Hoban High School in a fierce rivalry right here in the city of Akron.
Well, first of all, before I talk about that, I just want to thank the RubberDucks for creating this opportunity. I mean, what a special way to not only honor the seniors, but both teams, such a big rivalry. I didn't realize until we talked recently that the St. Vincent-St. Mary versus Hoban was the first ever game in Canal Park. So I think that's pretty special. And just the fact that the RubberDucks wanted to make this happen, I think is really cool. So big shout out to them, Jim, Sam, Roy, everybody who's helped make it happen to get us playing, just with everything going on. I think it's going to be an exciting night.
First of all, who are we going to see out at the ballpark?
We're going to see, obviously, seniors will be a big focus of the game. I personally have a senior class that was, very near and dear to my heart. 8 guys that just get it. They work hard. They're not showboaters. They're just kind of like keep their head down, work hard. They were great in the classroom too. 7 of my 8 seniors were academic All-Ohioans. 4 of those guys were above a 4.0. They got it done in the classroom. Most of them are either going to Dayton or Ohio State. One's going to Walsh. He'll be playing baseball at Walsh. So just have a great group of seniors and overall just a great group of guys. I don't want to focus just on the seniors. I was really excited about this group. We had a number of starters on the mound and in the field back. So it was just a season that we were looking forward to. The preseason was exceptional. Our first few weeks of practice were pretty seamless. We usually have a lot of frustrations early on, but we didn't. We felt like everything was going smooth. And then March 12th hit, and it just pretty much ended.
You mentioned that practice time. What kind of stage were you guys at? How close were you to getting outside? Even how far out were games?
We hadn't got on a field yet, but we had been outside since tryouts had started. We are 1 week away from scrimmage week. Scrimmage week is typically the week before the season starts. There is some excitement just to, face off against some teams that some guys pitching, hitting that was not our own. And we just had a good feel going into that week and going into the season. Like I said, we had a veteran presence within the program, just kind of a quiet confidence that we were going about with.
And when things did change, how did that come about? How did that get communicated to you? And how did you communicate to your team?
It was tough, I'll be honest, because March 12th, when Governor DeWine made the announcement, the school had already been planning ahead. It was the Thursday, if I remember correctly. The school came on the announcement. So Governor DeWine made some announcements at 2 o'clock. At about 2:30, the school came on the announcements and said all after-school activities are canceled. Practices, anything that had been planned previously. Tomorrow, school is off because we're going to get our teachers ready to go online by Monday. And so we didn't get to have a last practice. Many of the schools had till Monday because Monday was the official last day you could be in school. So some schools had until Monday to have another practice. Some saw the writing on the wall. They had like a impromptu senior day, like an inter-squad scrimmage. We didn't get to have anything. So it just cut off. I saw my guys after school that day. They kind of cleaned out what they needed to in their locker just so they could do some things from home. And that was it. But the look of devastation on my seniors, because I think they knew what was going to happen in the long term. And throughout that time, we did a quarantine challenge just to keep them throwing, keep them working out throughout the day, just to keep them positive. I'd be a liar if I said that during this time I didn't know in the back of my head we were never going to play again, but because we've never been through it. Nobody has. But there was always that, I guess, positivity within the message that you would send, like, hey guys, just keep doing what you're doing. We'll be back before we know it, and we'll be playing baseball again. And unfortunately it didn't happen.
What stood out to you about how your players responded? I know your team website posted some reflections by the seniors, and those were very powerful and reflective. But what stood out to you of how your guys responded?
They responded the way I thought they would. They're mature beyond their years. They were disappointed, but they understood the situation. That sometimes there's things that are bigger than baseball, that are more important than baseball. It really goes with the message that we always try to send in the game, is that you can only control so much. In baseball, it's probably the one sport where you have the least amount of control as both a player and a coach and as a team. There's so many things that are out of your control. So I felt like the guys did great. A lot of the guys live in my neighborhood. I have a number of them. I would see them throwing together from a distance, obviously, throwing together. During the time that we were shut down, I was just with my daughter. We were riding the bike, and I ran to a couple guys that were we have a large park next to our in our neighborhood, and they were there. They were working out. They were throwing together. They were sending me videos. So we did that quarantine challenge. They were sending me videos and pictures of updates just to show proof of what they were doing. But it was a group I didn't really have for them to send me videos to know that they were staying on track and ready if the time ever came.
And how and when did you find out that there would be no baseball season officially?
So I can't recollect the exact day that we found out that it would be canceled. But, obviously it was devastating. Now, when you say devastating, you have to keep things in perspective. All of our guys within our program have been healthy, as far as I know. Their families have been healthy. They've not been impacted by it. So when we say devastated, it's devastated for the things that they missed out on, from being a student in the end of the year traditions at our school to not having a senior day, which is going to be made up for here next Saturday, which is a blessing. And just everything in between that a senior gets to experience. I saw some commentary about, it's just high school. It's not that big of a deal. Life is way bigger than that. And, to an extent in the bigger picture, yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, how many people can say they had their end of their senior year stripped away from them? Not many. And so I think you have to feel for these people. There's so many rite of passage things they get to do that are fun that they'll never forget. Those seniors never got the bus rides for baseball. They never got the dugout time. They never got the locker room time. Those are the things that they remember. Those are the things that they get together in 10 years and they talk about some stupid story. They don't remember half the innings that they played. They don't remember that stuff. They remember the little details and the little experiences and the relationships that they built. And so I think that was probably what I felt most sad for is, especially with this group, is they didn't get to grow those experiences and they didn't get to grow those relationships with each other.
What will this game on the 11th mean?
It means a lot. After talking with everybody over Zoom last week, I was kind of shaky. There's like an excitement. I was a little bit giddy. I haven't felt that. And I'm sure what the guys went through, my players went through, was tough. But just me personally, I really struggled with that disconnect from those players. I mean, I would say that most coaches felt the same way. The reason we coach, we love baseball, but another reason is because of those relationships that you build with them, staying in touch with them as they move on past high school. But just I felt a sense of excitement just for them, for the seniors, for the whole team, just to be able to be together. They had their locker clean out, and I walked past my shortstop. He said, "Coach, I just want one more game to play with all the guys. Like, that's it. If we can get one more game to play with the seniors and everybody else," he goes, "it would make our day." So I think that this is going to be so special. It's going to be something they'll never forget.
You got one guy, Logan Danowski, who's going to be going on to play college baseball. What's special about Logan?
Logan's he's just a funny guy from a baseball standpoint. He has maybe one of the quickest transfers I've ever seen behind the plate. Last year, we don't have any kind of record in our program for catcher throwouts. We're not really kept. Just to put it in perspective, in the last 12 years, the most I've had throw out base runners was 17. Logan threw out 25, and I think we played 26 games. Also, to put it in perspective, so we played St. Ignatius last year. We beat them. They ended up winning the Division I state championship. We beat them in a 9-inning game at Baldwin Wallace. Logan threw out their all-time school leading base runner. He threw out twice. One trying to steal third and one trying to steal second. And so Logan is pretty special behind the plate. But he actually can play multiple positions. He can play middle infield. He came in to our program as a middle infielder, and we just said, "Hey, Logan, we're short on catchers. Can you give it a shot?" And kind of the rest is history there. It was a way as a freshman, he got on the field right away as on JV, and then he was going to be a 2-year starter for us behind the plate on the varsity level. And I was really excited for him because the one area where he was weak was blocking. I was defending the plate, and he's a great receiver, quick transfer, good arm, but he had been above average to good behind the plate blocking. He's really worked hard on that. I was excited to see what he did from that end and what he would bring to the table, because I think that would make him the complete catcher. But obviously that was taken away from us.
And you'll be playing Archbishop Hoban High School. Can you give us some sense of how the rivalry has been most recently? Yeah,
so last year they beat us. I can't remember the score. I think it was 6-3, 5-4, somewhere around that. The year before, we had been down 5-1 in the 6th inning. We came back and beat them 6-5. So it's been back and forth the last several years. It might be in Hoban's favor 3-2, or it might be tied up 3-3. But it's been pretty back and forth the last number of years.
Well, Coach, is there anything else that you want to make sure to add on this interview as we talk about that exciting day on the 11th?
We're excited just to have baseball, to have a live sporting event in the greatest city in the world, in downtown Akron, in the greatest minor league stadium in the world with the Akron RubberDucks. We can't wait. We know it's going to be a special night. And once again, we want to thank Jim, Sam, Roy, you, Marco, for doing this interview, and just everybody at the RubberDucks for making this happen. I know it's a tough time for you guys. I know it's a tough time for Major League Baseball and minor league baseball, but you guys finding creative ways to get people in your stadium and get baseball, just overall getting baseball played right now at the youth level is so important, not only just for these kids, for the community. So we appreciate all that you guys are doing to continue to work hard and pass on the game of baseball.
That was St. Vincent-St. Mary head coach Anthony Boarman, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Precious Cargo, Trailways, and Your Pizza Shop, part of the lineup presenting RubberDucks baseball. Coming up next, we'll visit with the head coach of Archbishop Hoban High School's baseball team, Andrew Bonnette. That's when At Home with the RubberDucks continues.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
This is RubberDucks broadcaster Marco LaNave. When people ask me who's the #1 pick for print and copy solutions in the Akron area, I tell them Meritech, the pride of the RubberDucks for the past 9 years. Meritech's roster also includes IT consulting, cloud voice and data services for a powerhouse lineup to reduce risk, control costs, and increase productivity. So call Team Meritech today and tell them the RubberDucks sent you. Meritech Technology to empower your business.
Exceptional care means having access to world-class physicians and services. That's the care Cleveland Clinic Akron General provides to Akron and the surrounding communities. Whether it's primary care or specialized services, we put your needs first with care that is comprehensive and, best of all, close to home. Cleveland Clinic Akron General is committed to the community and your health. To learn more about our services close to you, visit akrongeneral.org.
KeyBank makes it easy to manage your money anytime, anywhere.
I am crushed for time.
KeyBank can help.
How? And how soon?
You have a smartphone?
I have to. It keeps me organized.
Download the KeyBank mobile app and then use your phone to deposit checks on the go, transfer money, even pay bills automatically.
Awesome.
Indeed. Learn how you can make even more financial progress when you use the Red Key. Only at KeyBank. Visit key.com or your local branch. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
For a lawn that looks as good as Canal Park, depend on Grassmaster. They're a locally owned and operated full-service lawn and landscape company. The development of a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape requires a great deal of time and hard work. It's Grassmaster's commitment to providing the necessary ingredients of knowledge and treatment materials to develop a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape. By choosing Grassmaster as your lawn and landscape company, you are assuring that your investment is protected and will grow in value year after year. Visit thegrassmaster.com.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
Your business has a story to tell. Let Fast Signs Medina help you using the right mix of visual communication solutions like signs, banners, digital displays, fleet graphics, mobile marketing, health and safety communications, and so much more. Give Fast Signs Medina your business challenge and we'll come up with a plan to grow your business, reach more customers, and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Fast Signs Medina. More than fast, more than signs, more than ready to help you grow your business. Call today and say Go Ducks for your discount.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Deep drive out to right field. Rafaela turning, watching. It's gone to the Bud Light line. Tiki Terrace.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Pellegrino Music Center and Hudson's Restaurant, both presenting RubberDucks baseball. We now visit with Archbishop Hoban High School head baseball coach Andrew Bonnette about the game against St. Vincent-St. Mary coming up July 11th at Canal Park. Coach Bonnette, thanks so much for joining us.
No problem, Marco. Thank you so much for having us. We're really, really excited to have this game, have this great opportunity to play at a great park in front of some really great people who deserve to see their nice place in baseball.
And Coach, who is going to be on the field actually playing this game for you?
As of right now, the big one is obviously for our seniors to make sure we get our seniors out on the field to start the game. So we'll have Joey Osmond behind the plate, senior for us. Alakaz. We're not sure exactly if we're going to pitch him, play first, maybe play a little game with Boarman a little bit here, let him guess and see who we're going to have pitching. So Alakaz possibly pitching, possibly playing first base. DJ Henry is our center fielder, great guy. I got the pleasure to coach him when he was 16, moving forward with summer baseball and then into high school, Hoban. And then Dom Damasio and Sam LaFave at some point are going to pitch somewhere. Again, not going to give too much to Boarman. I want to make sure that he's surprised with anything that we do. So those are our seniors. Those are really the guys that we want to make sure we highlight this night. And I'm really excited for them to get back on the field. As soon as I remember calling them all, they all work together. And it was funny because I called and two of them were working at the same time. And I tried to get them to keep it from each other. But, man, they could not keep it from each other. So they're all excited. They all cannot wait. And they're all very deserving of a great opportunity, a great night. And then as far as our juniors go, you're going to see Alex Givens will be on the left side of the infield somewhere. Thomas Crow is a junior. He'll be playing first base. He also plays some basketball for us. Great kid. He actually scored a 36 on his ACT. Super smart kid. Very, very intelligent. Then we got Dylan Feltovich, our right fielder, and, kind of our guy who swings it very well, very consistent at the plate. Dylan Snyder may get a shot in some outfield play. And then moving on to sophomores, our sophomores, Nolan Holmgren, going to be either on the infield, possibly behind the plate. Again, just depends on where we kind of shift and what we do with him. Landon Ladaney might see his face a little bit. Kepler, Hardman, and Terzola, those are going to be the guys that kind of round us out. We're going to play 9 innings. Hopefully this gives us a shot to get some guys in, get some guys playing. But, man, I'm telling you right now, those phone calls were fun. Our guys are very, very excited to get on the field and play a game with their seniors one last time.
Well, and you mentioned, of course, the rivalry with St. Vincent-St. Mary. I know you're more recent, I guess, in your coaching tenure, but how's it gone in recent years?
I will say last year we were the victorious one, but my first year teaching, they won. I wasn't coaching at that point, so I'm not going to put my name on that one. But last year we did beat them. But it's always a really, really fun game. The kids get into it. Our kids, every sport it is, and I know it's theirs, they're the same way. We could be playing ping pong against St. V, and we better not lose. So it's one of those really, really fun, friendly rivalries, kind of similar to like an Ohio State-Michigan thing where you don't lose that game. Every year it shows up on the schedule, you don't lose it. You gotta beat St. V.
That was Archbishop Hoban High School head baseball coach Andrew Bonnette, and we'll have more with Coach Bonnette coming up right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy. This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Ruda going back. It's over his head. It's over the wall. The first Double-A home run for Oscar Gonzalez.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Suma Health and Johnny Lote's Latin Street Corn, both presenting RubberDucks baseball. We now continue with Archbishop Hoban High School head baseball coach Andrew Bonnette talking about the matchup with St. Vincent-St. Mary coming up on July 11th at Canal Park. We're talking about how the schedule has changed so much in the world over the last few months. At what point were you at in preparation for the season when things really did take a turn and change back in March?
The sad thing is we were about a week and a half away from our first scrimmage, and I think about 2.5 weeks off of our first game, something like that, as close to that. But our guys, they're putting all the hours in. We did off-season morning workouts at 6. We started like 6:30 a.m. for those guys. So they were getting in there, doing conditioning, doing lifting, the hard stuff, all those hours of work, pitcher fielding practices, all the first and thirds, you go through all the stuff that's not exactly the fun part for those guys. You work your butt off, and then you start getting closer and closer to the time where it's going to get real fun. And it's deflating, it's really, really deflating. And Another aspect of this that stinks is not only is it hurting the seniors really bad, but it also stinks for guys who are trying to get recruited and play baseball at the next level. It's going to put a very interesting bind and a wrench in the system when it comes to what's going to happen with those juniors, what's going to happen with those sophomores. What are those schools going to do when they, have an extra year, 4 or 5 guys stay back in college and, they don't go play. And it just really hurts and messes with some of these classes. And then they moved the Division I dead period back to the end of August. So it's really sad for these guys in more than one way. And that's why when you guys came to us with this game, it was huge relief for our boys, just to kind of get to a field, get your mind off all that craziness, all the fact that we've been stuck in the house for so long. And, we're really excited to get our boys on the field. And I know they're really looking forward to it.
And during this time, how did you guys manage? I mean, how are you staying in communication and how did the guys respond?
I teach at Hoban as well. So, I was able to keep in contact with some guys a little differently with educational stuff. But we also did a Zoom meeting about every week. We did, hitting Zooms that we just try to keep somehow baseball related because all year, you didn't know. You didn't know if we were going to come back halfway through. You didn't know if you were going to get 1 week and then go into playoffs. We really didn't know what was going to happen. So just trying to keep them fresh, trying to keep them, minds off of things. And, the other part that stinks about this the most is this was probably the best spring weather in Ohio we've ever had. And I know talking to coaches like Coach Boarman and, some of our other coaches that we're friends with, they talked about, constantly, man, it's Saturday, it's 78 degrees and sunny. Oh man, it's Friday night. We're supposed to be playing. I know the Hudson game, we're supposed to play in Hudson under the lights. And it was, I think, like 75 and the weather is beautiful, perfect for an under the lights game. And we had some fun with it. I know Hudson would send out something on their Twitter every week that was just saying, tonight's game's officially been canceled, but they had some fun with it. But, I think this last month and summer ball starting up and our guys being able to go on the fields are awesome. We've been putting videos out of our guys on Twitter as much as possible, trying to keep that family feel as much as we possibly can. But like I said, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. We can't wait. We're ready to get on that field here July 11th.
So how many of your guys have been playing summer ball and how many for them this will be the first game?
I think all of our underclassmen, anyone who's below that senior class, all the guys I talked to have been playing summer ball. That's also difficult because, we're asking them to step away from some of their teams for a game. None of them seemed like they had any issues with it. They're really excited. But the seniors, Alec Haas is going to play at Walsh University. So he's still playing summer baseball right now. But DJ, Dom, Sam, and Joey are all 4 just going to, go to school and do their thing. So when I called them, instantly they're like, I know Sam's been throwing a little bit. Dom said, I got to get back on the throwing program. Joey's said he got to get some swings, and so did DJ. But, I mean, those guys will be so excited. The cool thing about a 1-game season, stats don't matter. You're not worried about a batting average. You're not, you're just in the box playing baseball, looking to win a ball game. And that's what's really most exciting. It feels like there's not a whole lot of pressure. It's just going to be fun.
What is that night, July 11th, going to mean?
That night to us is, first of all, relief in this whole craziness. We get to wear a jersey that says Hoban across the chest in 2020. I know a lot of high schools wish that they could say that they were able to do that. And I know that makes me and our boys appreciate that way more, And then also, even though we don't like to see that color, but green across the way, seeing St. V, in a way, it's nice to see them. But, it's going to be even better if we can put a win on it. But to us, it really, really means, again, some relief, some excitement. I know some of our senior families really appreciate this. I can't tell you how many thank yous we've gotten from the senior families so far.
Well, we're extremely excited to host this unique baseball game at Canal Park on the 11th. Coach Bonnette, is there anything else that you want to add?
Other than that, I just want to, kind of thank some of our families for being patient with me as much as they could throughout this whole process. Because I know a lot of families with frustration, this was unprecedented, untouched ground. So I know Coach Boarman went through, a lot of high school baseball coaches went through some of it, but we tried our best to make things special. But you know what? When something like this comes up, it makes us look a whole lot better at the end of it. I know our guys are going to take this opportunity and, do their best at it. I think it's going to be one of those games that I'm never going to forget personally, just because of the circumstances. Every year I go back to that 2020 season, this is going to be what I remember. And that's what's most exciting, that we're going to be able to have this opportunity. But other than that, I just want to give a shout out to our senior parents. Thank you for sticking with us and holding it together for a little bit here, waiting it out and seeing what's going to happen. Because a lot of other schools aren't getting this opportunity. I know our parents, our senior parents, they're ready to go. They're ready to see their boys on the field, and they're very well deserving. It's one of those things. Those seniors give you their heart for 4 years. And, to be punched in the gut with losing your senior season, they are very deserving of getting on the field and playing this game. So we're looking forward to it. We can't wait to see you guys. We can't wait to have some fireworks. We can't wait, to see our blue and gold out there in the stands. And, I can say I can't wait to see some green, but, I can always wait to see some green. But other than that, we're excited. I'm excited to see Coach Boarman. Coach Boarman's a great guy and a friend of mine. I reach out to him, even being a new coach, for some stuff. So we're excited to see those guys and excited to play some baseball.
That was Archbishop Hoban High School head baseball coach Andrew Bonnette. And this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by the Akron Zoo and Planet Fitness, both on the team of partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. Coming up next, Jim Clark and I visit with Andre Knott, the Indians TV broadcast reporter on SportsTime Ohio, about the 2020 MLB season.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
There aren't many things in life that are easy. There's easy listening music, easy chairs, easy money. But did you know that you can enjoy all three while getting rid of your old energy-wasting refrigerator? You can schedule a pickup without moving from your easy chair. We'll haul it away and even pay you for it. So go ahead, take it easy, and let us take it from here.
First Energy's Ohio Utilities will pick up your fridge, and you'll get $50. Just visit EnergySaveOhio.com to schedule a pickup. Now that's easy.
What's better than a good steak? A great steak at a great value in a fun place. Texas Roadhouse. From fall-off-the-bone ribs to made-from-scratch sides, we've got something for everybody. Great steak at a great value. Texas Roadhouse. Located at 4310 Lake Point Corporate Drive in Stowe, and now offering drive-through, carry-out, and curbside service. Visit TexasRoadhouse.alohaorderonline.com or call 330-920-9844.
Bridgestone Drive Guard tires deliver a clutch performance that won't leave you stranded on the side of a rural road or a busy highway. They're engineered to take a puncture and to keep running up to 50 miles after a flat at 50 miles an hour. Plus, you'll get the smooth, quiet ride and impressive tread wear life you've come to expect from Bridgestone tires. Let the clutch performance of Bridgestone Drive Guard tires give you peace of mind. Bridgestone, proud sponsor of the Akron RubberDucks.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
No savvy traveler likes long lines or waiting around. So, lucky for you, the Akron-Canton Airport is easy and fast. With affordable on-site parking, quick check-in, and short security lines, you'll be through the airport in just minutes. CAK gives you more freedom to enjoy the things you love, like vacationing. With low fares to 11 nonstop destinations and just one stop to the world. Book your next adventure from CAK.
RubberDucks fans, check out City Barbecue in Fairlawn for the best barbecue in town.
I gotta tell you, City Barbecue is the best smoked meats I've ever experienced in my life.
Literally the best beef brisket sandwich I've ever had.
Definitely the best barbecue I've ever had.
My best all-around barbecue experience ever.
Best barbecue around.
Some of the best barbecue I've personally tasted.
I highly recommend this spot for some of the best BBQ you'll ever have.
Visit citybarbecue.com or stop by 2870 West Market Street in Fairlawn.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Deep drive out to right field. Rafaela turning, watching. It's gone to the Bud Light line. Tiki Terrace.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Visit Jacksonville and High Voltage Karting, both presenting RubberDucks baseball. We now talk Major League Baseball with Andre Knott, the Indians TV broadcast reporter on SportsTime Ohio, and he visits with Jim Clark and myself about the upcoming 2020 season for the Cleveland Indians.
With the 60-game schedule, I think Terry Francona is a perfect guy to manage that type of a situation. If you get 2 or 3 pitchers that get hot, you can have a tremendous run to start this thing.
Yes, Jim, I think you're absolutely right. You look at Clevenger, and if Clevenger has shown us, and like you just said, he's given a month, 2 months where he's been the best pitcher in baseball. If you could get him and Shane Bieber, just to use an example, if they can go out and they can give you 10 solid starts, I'm guessing over 60 games, that's going to put you in a good place. You know what I mean? Now, the question that I have, and we won't have this answer, and you guys saw a couple of the guys that I'm going to bring up. How do you use Plesac, Savali? How do you use guys like that? They are starters, but because of this shortened season, 60 games in 66 days, do you kind of throw them in the pen, or do you have pen days where you say, hey, we're going to do a Savali Plesac day where we're going to take care of our bullpen and we're going to go 3 or 4 with the 2 young guys and try to close off with the back end of the bullpen? I think you're right. The Indians have the right manager in Terry Francona, who he's shown us, whether it be the playoffs or whether it be the regular season, he gets a good feel for his pitching staff. And the one thing I'll say about this Indians organization, they always are tinkering with how to use their pitchers best. I'm interested to see how all these arms they have, how they'll use them. Look, we were having the conversation in the spring that you may have too many starters. We all know that's not such a thing. But in this situation, Jim, I think this could be really up the Indians' alley if they're able to get 4 good starters and then use the rest of their guys to get them to the back end of the bullpen.
Who looked so good to you in Arizona when you were out there?
Oh, Shane Bieber. I mean, I hate saying, I'll tell a quick story about Shane Bieber. 2 years ago in spring training, we were sitting with the scout. The scout looked at me and another person, and he said, if this is the Indians' 5th starter, the rest of baseball's in trouble. Well, we know what happened the rest of the year. He goes out and he goes and he's on the All-Star game. He's the All-Star MVP. And I got to tell you, Zach Plesac kind of had that same kind of spring in 2020. He tinkered with a little bit of, some of the things that he was working upon. I know that he got his mile per hour up. And Bieber, once again, looked unhittable. The thing about Plesac, and you guys have seen him more than I have, is I think the light bulb's gone on for him now that he can compete on the big league level. And it takes a guy from here to here. And if people can't see me on radio, it takes a guy from the shoulders to above the shoulders when you can have some success on the big league level. And now he's had those coaches, Ruben Diable and guys like that are saying, okay, your changeup was this, your slider was this. If you can take them up a notch, you can be a big-time pitcher. And I think Zach feels like he's going to be there. And, Jim, I'll say this. I think he could be the kind of the guy up their sleeve that could help, because you may just use him in the 6th and 7th inning this year. And if he can throw 95, 96 and sit there and have a good changeup, we all know if you can get 6, 7 guys out in the middle of the game and that part of the game, that could be huge for the Indians.
What does all this do to a guy like Tristan McKenzie, who you guys haven't seen a whole lot of, but he was with Savali and Bieber, and they were lights out together?
That's the concern. Everyone thinks the world of Tristan. As you said, heck, he was thought up higher. Marco and I were talking about another guy before we started this interview that you guys had last year, the big lefty out of Minnesota, Sam Hinges. Those are the two pitchers, and I've had Tito tell me those are the two guys. He's one of the two guys within the organization they're worried the most about, because in the Indians' eyes, they feel like they need 180 to 200 good, solid minor league innings to get where they're at, and they're not going to get that this year. So the Indians are usually with their pitchers, as you know, they keep them out of harm's way, right? I think some organizations may push guys like Tristan McKenzie and try to get a couple major league innings out of them this year. I'm going to say the Indians don't do that, and they find a way to put them on a taxi squad and keep them close by. I know I've heard some things about, let's say this, it's too early to say, but Jim, your question is very important to the Indians continuing their success because Tristan's a big part of it, and because of injuries and things of that nature, as you know, they haven't got the innings out of him that they need. So I would watch Tristan and Sam over the next 2-3 months. I think they'll be around. We just won't see them in games probably.
One of the new developments, Andre, is the schedule, how that's going to be adapted. What do we know about the schedule at this point, and does that help or hurt the Indians in any way?
You're going to have 40 games within your division. We know the division pretty well. The White Sox should be a strong team. The Twins, obviously, were the Dairy Queen softball team of the year last year, hitting bombs left and right. Can they do that again? We'll see. And I'm not putting them down. I love Derek Falvey, who's their general manager or the president now. I love what he's done. He was a great guy within the Indians organization. But it'd be fun to beat him. But you get Detroit. So you figure out 40 games, Detroit's still struggling. KC's still struggling. Then you're going to have the NL. You have 20 games against the NL Central. And because of that, suddenly you have Pittsburgh, who's not a very good team. And I love Derek Shelton, their manager, one of my favorite people in baseball. I love him, but I hope the Indians beat him 4 times this year. We can converse and have a beer about it later in the offseason. But you look at the NL Central, obviously you have the Cubs, who are a good organization. The Cardinals, one of the best organizations in baseball. I think it helps them, Marco, because you're not going to see the Rays. You're not going to see the Yankees, the Red Sox. You get my drift. You're not going to see the West Coast teams. This year the Indians were supposed to play the NL West, so you're not going to have to play the Dodgers and the Rockies and teams of that nature. So I think playing Pittsburgh, playing Milwaukee, who's a good team as well, I think it helps, Marco. But I think 40 games against the AL Central, the teams you know well, should benefit the Indians. And look, it was going to be a dogfight versus them and the Twins. And I'm going to say the White Sox. The White Sox are going to swing the bat very well. I don't know if their pitching will be the same as the Indians. So I think it helps, and I think it helps because Terry Francona is always – it's one of the secrets he feels of playing in the AL Central in normal years. When you consider Boston and what they have to go through in their travel, or Anaheim or Seattle, because we're in the middle of the country for the most part as a Major League Baseball team, we're pretty lucky that, you can fly to Detroit. It was 30, 40 minutes. The flight to Kansas City is less than 2 hours. I think the Indians take advantage of that. Tito's always told me, because he's managed on the coast, being able to be pretty close to all your destinations, it helps. And I think in this type of year, it should help even more when you're not going to leave the Midwest. So hopefully, knock on wood, that helps the Indians get over the hump this year.
What a strange season. No games with the Yankees. No games with the Red Sox. With all that baseball's done to itself, can they survive this?
You know what, Jim, that's a good question. I remember years ago someone was complaining that the 4-letter network, ESPN, only showed the Cubs, Yankees, and Dodgers. And someone said, well, for the league to flourish, you need those teams to flourish. And I kind of, I was miffed at that, being a Northeast Ohioan. But I understand that, Jim. I mean, let's be honest. You can – and look, the Indians have one of the best traveling party of fans. I can tell you this, throughout the country, there's nothing better than seeing in Anaheim or wherever else, seeing huge fans of the Indians. But I think that's a part of it. But, Jim, I'll be honest with you. I think we're at a stage right now where, because every team is on television every night, because I can find a way to listen to you guys. This is being honest. I'm not saying it because I'm on with you guys. I have found ways when we have guys, when Carlos Carrasco is going back to Akron for the RubberDucks, coming back from his great story, I got to tell you, when I'm sitting down in my little perch, We're finding ways to listen to your guys' game. We're seeing if we can get it on the internet. We find ways now to watch, and how I talk to players who they find ways to watch their AA and AAA games so their parents can watch. Things have changed. I understand the question, but I think because of technology, I think we're going to be okay. But it's obviously a very odd year when you don't see the pinstripes of the Yankees or see the Red Sox and teams of that nature.
I think baseball is so big for the world right now. Just to come back, you're a young father with the young kids. How have you talked to your kids about what's going on? How do you explain that to them and your worries about that?
Yeah, Jim, that's $1 million question. I got a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. They've kind of, and you got kids. They've grown up in baseball. This is their norm. Is their dad traveling baseball? And there's a lot of pluses to that. I'll never complain about that, but there's also some negatives. There's some things that I miss. I miss soccer games, and I have to miss their T-ball games sometimes, and that stinks. And I can tell you a quick story. There's a great barbecue place out in Kansas City called Joe's Barbecue, and we have some friends. It's one of the places when we travel. I know you guys, you have places that we're going to get a bite to eat because that's the place. Well, we had some food delivered for my birthday. Maybe my wife connected, and they had some food delivered from Joe's KC Barbecue in Kansas City. And my little son liked it so much that he asked me on Father's Day. He's like, "Dad, when can we get that barbecue again? When are we traveling to KC?" And it crushed me because I had to explain to him, I don't know if Dad's going to travel, because the kids do during the summer before they go to school. We usually find a couple trips. They get to come to Chicago or they get to come to Detroit. And that's the good thing about the Central, once again, is that some of these places, they get to come to Cincinnati. They love coming to RubberDucks games, by the way. That's the God honest truth. There have been times where they've chose to go to RubberDucks games over Indians games, and that's broken Dad's heart. But I get it. I love that they love going out there to those games. But what happened, Jim? I'll tell it quickly. When this all started, the whole thing about the virus, my family had just gotten out to Arizona. And we went to a game, one of the finals games that were played. We were at a game. I wasn't working. I brought them to the game. We were sitting there. My daughter yelled at Frankie Lindor, and they waved, and that, that's been everything to her. And they got to wave at a couple other players. And then, 3 days later, we were hustling back home to Akron, to Northeast Ohio. So we were able to have conversations about that with them, and I never thought I was be explaining viruses to a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. But we had some good conversations about that. And because they haven't been able to go back to school and they haven't been able to be around their friends, they have a pretty good idea of what's going on. But I think, and they haven't told me this, but I think they can't wait for me to go back to baseball and leave them alone at this point.
Thank you to Andre Knott of SportsTime Ohio, Fox 8 News, WTAM 1100, and the A to Z podcast for joining us. Also, thanks to St. Vincent-St. Mary head baseball coach Anthony Boarman and Archbishop Hoban head baseball coach Andrew Bonnette for joining us on this week's show. Tune in next Sunday at 6 o'clock for another episode of At Home with the RubberDucks. For Jim Clark, I'm Marco LaNave. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.
Thanks for listening to At Home with the RubberDucks. To listen to previous shows or for more RubberDucks baseball, follow the Akron RubberDucks podcast on the iHeartRadio app. For the latest on the team, go to AkronRubberDucks.com and follow the Akron RubberDucks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Akron RubberDucks Baseball. Affordable family fun.